This video will give you all of the tips that you need to know to upgrade your Clash of Clans base as fast as possible. Welcome back to the channel then, guys. I'm your host, Judo Sloth. I have played Clash of Clans for nigh on 8 years, and within that time have gained an extensive knowledge on how to upgrade your base as efficiently as possible. The first tip, which might seem pretty obvious, is to keep your builders working. But let's explain the logistics of that, because it can be pretty difficult. What you need to make sure is that as soon as one of your builders finishes, you instantly start another upgrade. This is where builder management comes into play. So if we take a look at my 6 builders, yes, you can get 6 builders. I will talk about the best way to do so in this video because it is super important. But if you notice, all of the builders finish at different times. There is a day or two in between when one builder finishes and the next. This gives me enough time to farm enough resources to make sure I have enough loot to start the next upgrade. I often like to keep one builder free. This means that I have a builder available so that I can dump excess loot into walls. But if you are not going to be super active in farming, I would actually just get all 6 builders working. This means you get better value with your builder potion. This is because it works on all active builders, so you want as many of them working as possible. As a side note, we also have a research potion for the lab. You know that we have other books and hammers, so you want to prioritize gaining these items from the clan games, the Clan War League medal shop, any events in game, anything that gives you magic items to speed up your progress. I have a couple of power tips for you at the end of the video, but I do want to keep on track as we move through the different sections so that you understand the synchronization of the builder management, the magic items, your available loot as a player, because whilst this video will be super helpful upgrading through the levels from point A to point B as fast as possible, I do want to acknowledge that some subscribers might not attack multiple times per day, so just take away whatever tips you can in order to keep those builders working. They are there to build, my friends. Whilst I am saying that your priority should be any magic items that help with time of upgrades, there are situations such as the one I am in now where choosing loot from the clan games or the Clan War League medal shop is the better option. And look, I'm not going to spend too long on this because I want to get to the next tip, but if you cannot farm enough resources fast enough to keep your builders working for whatever reason, people play the game differently, then you switch your focus to the loot. For me, I purchased all of the packs. That is actually how you overstack your magic items. I now have an abundance of books that actually it's the loot I should focus on, because hopefully from this section of the video you have taken this message away. It is about keeping your builders working however you need to do that. Yes, it's great if you can have the magic items to just speed up time, but ultimately if your builders are sitting doing nothing, then it's not as efficient. Let's tell you how to get the 6th builder as fast as possible then, because whilst one of my power tips at the end does involve builder management, it is trying to keep information succinct but in depth enough to help all of you. Whether you do or do not prefer the builder base, you do need to play it in order to unlock the 6th builder. But listen, it's not as bad as you think. You have to get to Builder Hall 9, you have to then unlock the Auto Hut and complete a bunch of challenges. But there's a little secret about the builder base. You should only build the buildings required to actually upgrade to Builder Hall 9, but then put all of your loot, everything, into the auto tasks. You can leave the other buildings at level 1 if you wished. This is because, unlike the home village, you should rush the builder base. I will talk about strategic rushing later on in the video. Some of you might have seen my previous videos on rushing, but actually it can be the fastest way to upgrade even in the home village, despite what a lot of people will tell you. But the reason you rush in the builder base is there is no matchmaking. It is all about the trophy count. You could be a Builder Hall 9, your opponent a Builder Hall 3, and if you have the same trophies, you will be matched against them. Therefore, there is zero disadvantage because the amount of loot you gain per attack is based on your trophies. The higher trophies, the more loot you gain. So if you are stronger offensively, you are going to push higher up the trophies, gain more loot. So rush the builder base and just upgrade what is needed for the auto tasks. I don't want to give you the impression that you're going to be able to do this in a couple of days because you're not. It is still a bit of a grind, but it is so worth it. I have a video on getting the 6th builder going in a bit more depth with strategies, and I will link you across to a playlist at the end of this one that has a bunch of explainer videos just like this one. But once you've completed the tasks, you can send the master builder to the home village as your 6th builder. What are the upgrade priorities then? What should you upgrade first in order to progress as fast as possible? This differs slightly on whether you are rushing or not, and it will nicely segue into the strategic rushing section, but in general, they are pretty much the same. Heroes are a big factor here, but I do want to mention that particularly lower level, the resource collectors are hugely important so that you gain more loot passively, as well as the storages so that you can hold more loot with farming, but get better value from the runes. I do explain all of this in my upgrade guide for every town hall level, which will be in that playlist linked at the end. But in terms of the heroes, you always want to try and keep them upgrading for the main fact that they tend to take the longest out of everything. Generally, it doesn't matter on the town hall, it tends to take the longest, and I think it's because other than the Grand Warden, they all take Dark Elixir, and there is a little bit of a knack of upgrading the heroes as well. I have the Warden upgrading at the moment, but the Clan War Leagues are beginning tomorrow. Unless you have a book of heroes available and you can instantly finish the hero upgrade, I would strongly recommend not upgrading during the Clan War League. Let alone you are not able to help your clan as much since you can't use the heroes. The amount of medals you gain is based on the stars you achieve within your clan's particular league. We already mentioned how important the league medals are so that you can purchase not only the hammers, you can't get these anywhere else, but even the builder potions, research potions, sometimes even the loot so that you can get an upgrade going is massively helpful for your progress. So you need as many medals as possible. My guide on what to purchase will be in that playlist, and as I've mentioned, relevant videos will be in the description in case you wanted to go directly to them. Here's my thing about the heroes. If you could upgrade all 4 at the same time, you are super active with your farming, you can manage your build as well, go for it. But you probably can't do that. You might choose to upgrade them in levels of 5 though, because that is when you get an extra ability level. So for example, with me, I have upgraded my queen first to level 80. Now I will rotate back to the Barbarian King to try and get him to level 80. And also I have my Royal Champion and pets to worry about. Dark Elixir gets very expensive at Town Hall 14. But what you need to make sure is that they are available for war, presumably that you want to win. So some people will focus on 1 or maybe 2 heroes at a time in order to manage the timers better and make sure that when you opt into a war, they are going to be available. Since upgrading the heroes is such a big deal, the Book of Heroes inside the daily deals at 500 gems is one of the only items I recommend from the trader. Interestingly, the other item I recommend is the training potion. I think they are the 2 best values, so this is a perfect demonstration for you. I did mention though strategic rushing, and it is something that I want to briefly discuss, because if your goal is purely to go to maxed Town Hall 14 as fast as possible, then rushing is actually the quickest. I'm not going to go into all of the pros and cons because I have a whole separate video for that, but you should know that if you rush, you can get better value out of your magic items. You can actually gain more loot passively and actively because you will be stronger on offense. It means you can get better value from the Clan War League medal shop. There's a whole host of positives, but I actually don't recommend rushing on your main account. It's not that it's super negative, it's just that you need to know what to upgrade first. and you also gain different skill sets from different Town Hall levels, and if you haven't gained that from your main account and you rush incorrectly, it can end up having a negative effect for you and your clan in war. It can impact the gaming experience that you have as well though. I personally don't find it as enjoyable to rush, but I know some people that just want to unlock the new content. But if you do choose to rush, like I said, I have a separate guide on this, you have to focus on your offensive power. That is heroes, army camps, clan castle. Make sure that you're upgrading set armies within the lab. You want one farming army and one war army upgraded to maximum level. This means that at least you have a strong army to fall back on. After this, you can slowly upgrade your base evenly once you have that offensive power. Before I go through all of the power tips, I want to mention the gold pass, because whilst not everybody spends money on the game, for $5 a month, it brings you so much value. The best value you could get from any purchases. Not to mention the magic items, the loot from the season bank, the perks. It is such good value, and there's a couple of tips I have for you. I've mentioned this quite often, but at the start of the season, do not spend your season bank loot until you have got to the 10% builder boost. It's normally around about 120 points, and you can pretty easily get it with completing one or two of the challenges. With 50 million in gold and elixir for the season bank, that is huge, but also at the end of the season. Remember, this is where your perks are at their highest, so you want to utilize that, and I'm going to show you by demonstrating the first power tip. Remember though, if you are purchasing the gold pass or anything else in Clash of Clans, you can enter your favorite content creators code within your settings before purchasing. My code is Judo, and it is much appreciated, my friends. We get a very small kickback, which helps to support the channel. Power tip time then, and I'm going to demonstrate my first one to you. Some of you might have questioned why I still had the Grand Warden on upgrade when I did say the Clan War League starts tomorrow. Honestly, it is nothing other than I wanted to show you one builder available when I was discussing that. So let's use my Book of Heroes to upgrade the Grand Warden. Now I can use my elixir to upgrade the Grand Warden again. But the point here is that it frees up a builder for me to use. And my first power tip is that if I were to use my Rune of Gold right now, I would get 19.5 million gold, which honestly is pretty good value. You always want to try and use your runes when your storages are virtually empty. But I can get even better value here by building a bunch of siege machines in the background, and now I have 8,000 gold. When I use the Rune of Gold, now I get virtually full value. Just make sure that you actually do then use the gold. I'm actually going to upgrade the Battle Builder Hut, and this is because I want to upgrade all of them to maximum level and then go on defense with them around the Town Hall for a bit of fun. Be sure to subscribe in order to see that episode in the near future. But now I can go back into my army, the siege machines, delete them in order to refund the gold. You can do exactly the same as this, by the way, for elixir and dark elixir by cooking up troops and then deleting them after you've used the rune. Power tip in relation to gems. People play the game differently. Some people will gem upgrades, and that's fine, but it really isn't the best value. If you want the best value from your gems, do not finish upgrade times. At first, you always want to save your gems. You get a lot of free gems out of the game, so even if you decide not to purchase them, you will be able to get the 5 builders. But make sure you save every scrap of gem, whether it's from the rewards in your profile, whether it's from the bushes that you remove around the base. Save all of them for the 5 builders. Following that, I've already mentioned the training potion and Book of Heroes are the best value. If for whatever reason you have an abundance of gems, you can also purchase the research potion and the builder potion from the traders. Those are the second best deals because that will help you upgrade your base. The only time that I will use gems to finish an upgrade is if it has 30 minutes left and I'm going to be offline overnight. I will gem that so that I can start another building upgrade. I want to give you a quick tip on the League shop, because whilst the guide on what to purchase is within the playlist I'm about to direct you to, I mentioned in that video that the Hammer of Heroes is a great choice, and it is if you just want your heroes available for war. But I talked to my subscribers in the comments of that video, and you absolutely changed my mind. I do agree that now the Hammer of Fighting, if you just want to focus on your upgrades, is the best value. It is 45 League medals cheaper, and one thing I haven't really mentioned is the lab, because it goes without saying, just as with the builders, you want to keep the lab upgrading all of the time, and the Dark Elixir troops can be just as expensive as the heroes and even take longer, meaning you're getting better value for the hammer so long as you can manage your hero timers for war. But if you can, best use case in terms of upgrading fastest is the Hammer of Fighting. I talked at the start of the video about the builder potion use and the research potion use for that matter. If you are using the potion, make sure that whatever it is speeding up does not finish upgrading whilst the potion is still active, unless you can get something instantly upgrading afterwards. Otherwise you're not getting the best value from the potion. A neat little trick you can do with the builder potion that you can't do with the research potion, because the builder potion only speeds up 10 times faster. This is because it works on all builders, so it actually gives you better value in my opinion than the research potion. But anyways, you can use the builder potion to reset the timing of your builders. If you want the best efficiency of upgrades, you do not want an upgrade to finish in the middle of the night when you are sleeping, because you want to start another upgrade. This means that the builder potion can shave 9 hours off of an upgrade in order to reset when the builders will finish. This is so long as you still have most of your builders working, otherwise you're actually getting less value from the builder potion. It just means that you can be online to start that next upgrade. A quick power tip in terms of builder management: you need a system that works for you to keep a track of when the builders will finish. Personally, I just have a quick look at the builder tab every day I log in, and I can see when the builders will finish. But I do know some people that find it helpful to set events on their phone to keep track of builders. There's also apps and websites such as the Clash Ninja Upgrade Tracker, where you can input your data and ultimately it keeps a track for you. So try experimenting and find a system that works for you. If you want to see other Clash of Clans explainer videos just like this, I made a playlist of the ones that I think will be most helpful for you. It is linked right here for you alongside the subscribe button. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.